Hey guys, happy Monday and welcome back to another week in medical school, and more specifically, welcome to exam week. So this week is a bit hectic. I have my neuropathology exam on Friday, which is the block that we're in right now. I'm a little bit nervous. I've been doing a lot of practice questions, but I still have a lot of gaps in my knowledge, so hopefully I can address all that this week. And then on Thursday, I have my final exam for my Foundations of Clinical Practice class, and that one I'm not as worried about. We have a study guide for it. I think it's a little bit more intuitive. It's gonna be on some physical exam skills, some documentation skills, some just general patient care kind of skills. And that's just some of the things that we've been focusing on in this class. And I'll show you guys kind of some of the stuff that I have to know for the exam later on during the vlog. But that one is kind of more I need to study for it, I need to pass it, do well. But it's between now and the neuro exam. And so it kind of makes it a little bit difficult to schedule everything and plan everything. And then next week is actually my final exam week. That is my cumulative semester final. And then once I take that, I'm completely done with my first semester of medical school. The time has really gone by so fast. And I'll talk a little bit more about my final next week. But this past weekend, I did a lot of practice questions with one of my classmates. I went through some more boards videos that I wanted to rewatch. I watched some sketchy. And then I did start studying for my Foundations of Clinical Practice exam. I went through the study guide and completely filled it in. So I think between now and the FCP exam, I should be okay as long as I read through that a couple times. Maybe I'll spend an hour a night doing that. And besides all of that, I had to study for anatomy this past weekend because I had a quiz this morning, which I got a 10 out of 10 on. I was super stoked. And I want to give a huge shout out to KenHub for being my new go-to anatomy studying resource. I've absolutely loved using KenHub over the last few weeks. I've pretty much replaced my class lectures with KenHub because their videos are so detailed and they have these amazing practice questions. They have so many practice questions, which is the most important part of studying anatomy is practicing. And I have never seen another resource that has as many practice questions as they have. For those of you guys who are an undergrad doing anatomy, or maybe you're doing a major that doesn't have a lot of anatomy and you want to get a head start, I highly recommend KenHub. They're really awesome. I love them. My girlfriend loves them. So make sure to go check out KenHub, and you can use the link in my description to get 10% off of any plan. But anyway, I'm done talking your guys' ears off. I'm going to hop on Discord and do some practice questions with a classmate. And then at 2:30, I have a dentist appointment. So I'm going to try to do as many practice questions as I can before that. And then I'll head to the appointment.
I think that we got a 60%. What do you think? Hey, we got a 67. Why are we trash?
All right, so now I'm going to go to the dentist. I've been pushing this appointment off for a while now. I had it a month ago, and then I forgot, and then I had it again, and then I had COVID, so I couldn't go. So now it's been way over a month since I was supposed to go to the dentist, so now I'm gonna go. But when you're in medical school, doing these other life things and errands is I don't know. You want to do your schoolwork, you want to study, especially on exam week. This is such a hectic week, but I've been pushing off enough. I got to take care of myself. And so I'm gonna go to my appointment and I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. All right, now I'm all clean. So on my way home, I stopped by the store and got a bunch of food just because I was running low on groceries. And I've been trying to eat at home a lot more, so thought it was a good time to stop by the grocery store. So I picked up a baguette from the grocery store and just kind of filled it with some Swiss cheese and ham. So right now I'm doing a set of practice questions on brain tumors, and there's kind of a lot that goes into determining what type of brain tumor it is, especially on a practice question. There are some tumors that are more common in adults, and then there's some common in children, and then you'll look at maybe where it is. For example, glioblastoma multiforme will cross the corpus callosum, so you might see it on both sides. And then medulloblastoma, which is more common in children, is kind of more in the cerebellum. So there's a lot you want to look at, and then the final thing that'll kind of tell you what it is when they give you the pathology or what it shows on biopsy, because they always have distinct things specific to these tumors. And so here's a practice question, and it's basically an adult, so it's 49 years old, and just immediately I see something it says crosses the midline. So he basically has a tumor that crosses the midline. And I know that glioblastoma tends to cross the midline, like I just said earlier. And on biopsy, you typically look for the pseudopalisading because when there's the necrosis in the middle, it pushes the cell bodies out to the side. So it looks like the cell bodies are surrounding the necrotic area. And so I think the answer is C, and that's the answer. And it is glioblastoma. And you can see that this is what a biopsy of glioblastoma would look like. So you see there's a lot of white in the middle, and that's kind of the area of necrosis. And that necrosis has pushed the cells out to the side around it. That's what's called palisading, kind of surrounding it. And that's where you can see all these cell bodies. So that's how you know it's the pseudopalisading kind of pattern that you see on histology for glioblastoma multiforme.
And this is what glioblastoma multiforme looks like on an MRI.
And so besides brain tumors, we have to know about movement disorders like Parkinson's, cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's, or even like prion diseases. We have multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barré, like all those like demyelinating disorders, autoimmune. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into neuro. There's a lot of stuff that can go on, and that's what's making this exam pretty difficult. But it's okay, I'm gonna study and I'm gonna get through it.
Most adult tumors occur above the tentorium. They're called supratentorial. In children, the astrocytoma is the most common tumor. Other less common tumors are the medulloblastoma, the ependymoma, and the craniopharyngioma. Cortex is rapidly progressive and malignant, and it's usually fatal within a year.
So some of the things I have to know for my FCP final are some concepts like creating an ideal patient experience, qualities that correlate with good therapeutic outcomes, patient-centered interviewing, techniques for expressing empathy, a bunch of like physical exam stuff. And so these are the skills that are going to differentiate a good doctor from a great doctor, because a good doctor might know the diseases, the treatments, the drugs and everything, but a great doctor is going to be someone who can like really talk to their patients and have a good patient-centered care of plan, empathy, all that kind of stuff. And it's really awesome that we really focus on that in my school. But anyway, I'm getting kind of tired of studying, so I'm gonna go to bed and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. All right, so I spent my morning doing Anki, and then I did some practice questions with a classmate, and then I had a class meeting, and now I've got PBL in like 20 minutes. But I do want to show you guys that last week I showed you guys these bags because about a month ago I had ordered some like UNLV School of Medicine gear, and it was ready like last week, so I went and picked it up. But I haven't really looked at them yet, and like, I don't know, I just thought I would try them on in front of the camera. I just wanted a bunch of like School of Medicine gear, because maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it's the being proud of your school, or the subtle flex when you get to wear like School of Medicine gear, or like just that feeling of getting to wear School of Medicine gear because you work so hard to get into medical school. But basically I wanted a bunch of like School of Medicine gear. So I bought some and I'll try it on for you guys. All right, so first up is this Eddie Bauer jacket, and it has my name on it and then UNLV School of Medicine. I love this jacket. It's super comfortable. It has my name on it. It has UNLV School of Medicine on it. And like, I don't know, it's just very comfy. Unfortunately, I'm stuck at home all day, so I'm not really going out where I need jackets, but I don't have a whole lot of jackets, so I thought it'd be good to get some. And then I think this will be nice during like my clinical years as well, or just even if like I go to school, I don't know. I just feel like it's nice to have a School of Medicine jacket. Then I got another jacket, and this one also says my name on it. I think it's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more like, I don't know, velvety, and the inside's a little bit thinner, but again, has my name on it. It has UNLV School of Medicine on it. I think it would be nice to just wear as like, winter jacket, got that subtle School of Medicine flex. I just feel like when you work so hard to get into medical school, you kind of just deserve to like wear clothing that says like, you did it, you made it this far. I don't know, maybe I'm being like egotistic. I also got these two hats. I don't really wear hats that often, but I thought they'd be good to have in case I feel like not showering or like doing my hair or anything. I can just throw them on. Maybe if I'm gonna go like work out somewhere. I don't know. I just feel like it's good to have hats, and maybe I'll start wearing more hats now that I have these. This is a pair of joggers I got. I don't really have many joggers, and I figured like I don't want to have to wear like pants or like jeans every single time I go out. So I got these joggers. They're very comfortable. They say School of Medicine on the side, and I'm kind of just happy to have a pair of joggers. Again, I don't really have any, so I really like these. And here's one of the sweatshirts I got. Really comfortable. Again, I thought I was gonna be going out more, at least like commuting campus, and Vegas isn't like all that cold, but I figured it'd be good to get some sweatshirts. Here's the second sweatshirt I got. I really like this one as well. Really comfortable. It's a little bit heavier than the other one, but it has like this cool thing over here where you can like tie in the bottom, which I don't know if you can see the camera, but I think that's really cool. But yeah, this one is like super comfortable. And lastly, I got 3 shirts. Here's the first one. Really like it. It's very comfortable. I love that it doesn't just like hug me. I kind of like my shirts a little bit like baggier. And so this one is super comfortable, really, really nice. And here's the second shirt. It's a lighter gray, still really comfortable. Doesn't like hug me too tight. Yeah, just like a nice little t-shirt. And then this is the last t-shirt I got. It's like the lightest gray. I think this is my favorite one just because it's like the thinnest. Just a very casual t-shirt, but again, rocking the School of Medicine on it. Yeah, so that's everything I got. Very excited to like rep my school and kind of have that I don't know, that kind of esteem that you're like, I'm in medical school. I can wear School of Medicine clothes. Anyway, we've got PBL soon, so I'm gonna head to that. I'll catch up with you guys later. So I just got done with PBL. We got done like an hour and a half early, which is great. It was basically about this kid. He's like a young kid, and he's having some like difficulty seeing and like he's tripping over things, it's worse at night. And we basically determined that he has retinitis pigmentosa, which basically like his peripheral vision is starting to go. He can really only see things in the middle, which is why he was like tripping on things, because he just wasn't seeing it like on his periphery. You can confirm it with a fundoscopy, which is basically like you look inside of the actual eye and you can see like darkening kind of around the sides. There's a couple other things that you can look at. I'm not really gonna get into it, but yeah, it's pretty cool. We don't know the exact cause or like the inheritance or like why he's having it, but we'll kind of cover that next class. But for now, I have a bunch of extra time that I didn't think I was gonna have. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and then I'll kind of figure out what I'm gonna do with the rest of the day. Had to give myself a little refuel with some coffee while I start going through this 4-hour review lecture. Just got done with the 4-hour review thanks to 2 times speed, and I hopped on the bike for a little bit and managed to burn some calories. So Ab sent me this like low carb kind of like keto dinner recipe to try, and it's basically cauliflower rice with this Cajun style sausage, and I'm gonna try making it. The bell pepper and onion are in. Sausage is in. I kind of wish I'd used a bigger pan, but it's a little bit too late now. All right, I kind of made a mess while I was stirring, but this is pretty much what it looks like, and I think it's ready to go. That's really good. The Cajun has like a lot of seasoning, and the sausage is already like pre-seasoned, so there's like a ton of taste in this. Super low carb. It's like perfect. And not only do I have my plate, but I also have a whole bunch left for leftovers. Good afternoon, guys. So I just got done my community service class, and our final paper was pushed off until after our final exam, which is like, the end of next week, which is amazing. So I don't have to worry about that right now. But for the rest of the day, it just needs to be really productive. I'm gonna start reading through first aid right now, the entire neurology section. And after that, there's like a question pack that I wanna do. And then after that, I'm just really gonna like rewatch some boards videos, maybe some, Pathoma and Sketchy. And I think that's gonna be kind of it. But that'll take up like my entire day pretty much. And then like the last like hour to 2 hours of my day, I'm gonna study for my Foundations of Clinical Practice exam, which is tomorrow. The final for that's tomorrow, and I've done the study guide, and I think that as long as I review the study guide, once or twice more, I should be okay. But yeah, I'm gonna get started and I'll catch up with you guys later. For anyone that's curious about some of the ways that we remember things in medical school, here's a really good example. This is Friedrichs Ataxia, which is a trinucleotide repeat disorder, and it's something that's inherited. And basically what happens is you have things like staggering gait, frequent falls. The most common cause of death is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and you have, kyphoscoliosis. And so the way that we remember some of these things is through mnemonics. So this is an example that reads, Friedrich is fratastic. So you can remember it's the frataxin protein that's coded incorrectly because of the trinucleotide repeat. And you remember it as he's your favorite frat brother, and he's always staggering, so staggering gait, frequent falls, he's always falling, but he has a sweet big heart, and that reminds you of the cause of death being hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. And then it says ataxic gait, because we know that there's, gait ataxia with this condition. However, gait is spelled with GAA, because that reminds you that that is the trinucleotide repeat that you have going on with this disorder. All right, so I've just been rewatching Boards and Beyond at 2 times speed, but I'm starting to get a little bit sleepy now, so I think I'm gonna hop on the bike and keep watching videos for like another hour or so.
Once again, this is an exception. Norepinephrine is not the neurotransmitter, it's acetylcholine. Acetylcholine activates the M3.
My sweat glands are definitely working. That was a pretty good session. Time to heat up the leftovers. All right, so over the last few hours, I've just been studying for my FCP exam, which is tomorrow morning. I don't really know like how hard it could be, like knock on wood, but I hope it goes well. Everything seems kind of like intuitive, so it kind of just depends on like how hard the questions are gonna be. But I also did upload a video to YouTube, my favorite tech/items, and this is hopefully episode 1, because I talk about a lot of things that I like whenever I buy things or like tech that I like, and I was like, maybe I could start talking about it. Like I watched a lot of tech YouTubers, and I think it'd be cool to kind of like dip my toes over there. Especially with this being my YouTube channel and everything. I like posting these vlogs. I'm gonna keep posting these vlogs, but I think it's good, especially at the point that I'm at, to like also branch into things and dip my toes and kind of see what you guys like and what you guys don't like. So definitely go check that out after you watch this vlog. But I think right now I'm gonna get ready for bed, and then I'll catch up with you guys after my exam. Morning, guys. So I just got done with my exam, and honestly, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, mainly because I thought it was going to be all multiple choice, and it was like barely multiple choice. It was mostly short answer, a couple paragraphs, and I just didn't expect that. I don't know why I didn't know it was gonna be like that. So I kind of just did the best that I could. I didn't think I was gonna have to like pull things out of my head. I thought I would just be able to like recognize things on multiple choice. But hopefully it went well. I'm not too sure. But now I can focus on my neuropath exam. So I kind of want to get started. I want to read through first aid again. I want to go through my question review document, rewatch a couple of videos. And I've got PBL at 1. So I'm going to do what I can until then, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Yo, final exam, 49 out of 50. I did not expect that. I thought I did like not that well on it. I didn't think I did like terrible, like I would like fail it, but like I did not expect to only miss 1 point. I hope that brings really good luck for tomorrow's exam, but for now I'm gonna hop into PBL. It's been a little while since I've made like actual iced coffee, but I really like what I did with this one. I think this is like my favorite like little mini iced coffee recipe so far. I just like put the coffee in with ice cubes obviously, and then I poured some milk in, and then I actually combined the white chocolate mocha creamer from Starbucks as well as the cinnamon dolce creamer, and then I put a little bit of French vanilla in, and honestly, it is delicious.
And in the case of moderate, I told you that you would get damage to areas of selective vulnerability. For example, one of the areas that was going to get damaged was layers 3, 5, and 6 of the cortex, which represents the pyramidal neurons. Now,
for dinner, I'm going with the classic ham and cheese omelet, and then I'm trying turkey bacon for the first time. All right, guys, it's almost 11 p.m. and today I read through first aid. I went through like my 28-page review doc from like practice questions. I speed watched Pathoma, watched a couple boards videos, watched a couple sketchy videos, and overall I feel the same as I normally do for any exam, which basically means if they ask the right questions, then I'll know the answers, and if they ask questions that have to do with a lot more like little details, minor details that I might have missed or possibly just didn't look at enough or go into like the specifics of certain things, that's usually where I tend to get tripped up. And so I think there's really not a whole lot more I can do now, so I think I'm going to just try to get a good night's sleep, and then I'll catch up with you guys after my exam. Hey guys, so I just got done my neuro exam, and honestly, it felt like every other exam where I don't feel great at all, but like the ones that I knew for sure, and like I knew the answer as soon as I saw the question, but there was a lot of questions that like were a little bit curveball-y, and I was just like, what the heck is this? Like, I have no idea. I don't even know like which of these answer choices makes the most sense, or the answer choices were so similar that I really just couldn't differentiate. And so I don't feel great about that, but there's no point in really worrying about it until I get my score. But for now, I think I'm just gonna relax a little bit. At noon, I am interviewing some students for my school, some applicants, and so that's always really exciting. And so I think I'm just gonna relax a little bit until then. All right, guys, I just got done interviewing some students for UNLV. It was a lot of fun, and I always really enjoyed doing it, and hopefully I get to see some of them around school next year, you know, if they get accepted to UNLV. But I did talk to a classmate after the exam I had this morning, and I definitely feel even worse because I know, as a matter of fact, there's like a really good number of questions that I got wrong. There was a bunch of questions that I changed my answers on, which is not something I was doing like in undergrad. Like ever since med school started, I started second guessing myself more. And so there was like a really good amount of questions that I changed from like the right answer to the wrong answer, or what we assume is the right answer, based on our conversation together. And yeah, I definitely feel worse. I haven't got my grade, and I probably won't get it until like maybe early next week, hopefully. But I'll just have that in the next vlog. For now, there's just no point in stressing about it. I think I'm just gonna take the whole rest of the day off. I'll do my Anki at some point, but I'm not really gonna study anything. A week from today, I have my final exam that's gonna end off the semester, and then I'll be completely done with my first semester of medical school. I really have no idea how I'm gonna study for my final. I'm gonna ask around a little bit and try to get some advice and kind of make a plan throughout the day, and I'll start studying tomorrow. But I do want to end the vlog here. That way I can start editing it tonight, and then tomorrow I can just focus on studying for my final exam. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on another week in medical school, and the second to last week before the end of my first semester. It's been a pretty crazy week with my 2 exams. I'm really happy how I did on the exam yesterday, and hopefully I get good news about today's exam next week. But again, thank you guys so much for joining me on another week in medical school. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.